Have you ever wondered how one maintains faith in the face of immense suffering and loss? Today, we delve into one of the most compelling narratives from the Bible, the story of Job. A tale that transcends time and culture. It's a profound exploration of human suffering, faith, and redemption. Job, a man of wealth and piety, finds his life unraveled, losing everything he held dear. Yet in the midst of his despair, he remained steadfast, his faith unbroken. The story of Job, unique in its depth and complexity, continues to resonate with us today. It challenges us to question, to seek understanding, and above all, to maintain hope in times of despair. This ancient narrative invites us to grapple with the existential questions of why we suffer and how we can keep faith in the face of hardship. So, who was this man, Job, and what led him to endure such trials? Job was a man of immense faith and prosperity. Born in the land of Uz, Job was known far and wide as a man of great integrity. His righteousness was unquestionable, his devotion to God unshakable. He was blessed with abundant wealth, owning thousands of sheep, camels, oxen, and donkeys. Job was no ordinary man. His wealth was not just material but also familial. He was the proud father of 7 sons and 3 daughters. His children, like their father, were known for their virtue and piety. Job's life was a testament to his unwavering faith. Every morning he would rise early and offer burnt offerings for each of his children, a practice he followed religiously. His fear of God was evident in his actions, and his reputation as a devout man was well earned. But soon, Job's life took a turn that would test his faith and resilience. God, in conversation with Satan, allowed Job to be tested. Job, a man of immense wealth and prosperity, suddenly found his world turned upside down in a series of catastrophic events. His herds of livestock, the source of his wealth, were wiped out by marauders and natural disasters. His servants, who were like an extended family to him, were brutally murdered. Yet these material losses paled in comparison to the personal tragedy that was to follow. In a heart-wrenching turn of events, Job's 10 children, his pride and joy, were killed when a mighty wind struck the house they were feasting in, causing it to collapse on them. Job's world, once filled with laughter and joy, was plunged into despair and mourning. But the trials didn't end there. Job was then afflicted with painful sores from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head, a physical torment that was a stark contrast to his previous health and vitality. His body, once strong and robust, was now a painful reminder of his trials. Yet in the face of such immense suffering, Job's faith in God remained unshaken. He tore his robe, shaved his head, and fell to the ground in worship, saying, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." Despite the severity of his trials, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. His acceptance of his circumstances, his continued trust in God's sovereignty, is a testament to his extraordinary faith. Yet this faith was not blind or unthinking. Job was a man of deep thoughts and emotions, and he wrestled with questions about his suffering. In the midst of his suffering, Job still held on to his faith, but he was not without questions. Job's story is not just about unwavering faith, but also about the human struggle to understand suffering and loss, and the courage to question even in the midst of faith. In his despair, Job questioned his suffering. He cried out to the heavens, his lamentations echoing through the endless expanse of the cosmos. "Why do I, a man of righteousness, suffer so?" he asked. His pleas were heard by his friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, who each offered their own perspectives. Eliphaz suggested that perhaps Job was being punished for some hidden sin, while Bildad wondered if this was a divine test of faith. Zophar, on the other hand, suggested that Job's suffering was a result of his lack of understanding of God's ways. These interpretations, while well-intentioned, failed to provide Job with the comfort he sought. The question remained, why do the righteous suffer? Then, from the heart of a whirlwind came God's response. His voice thundered, echoing with the power and majesty of the divine. "Where were you when I laid the earth's foundations?" he asked. Tell me if you understand. Who marked off its dimensions? Surely you know. God's words were not a direct answer to Job's question, but rather a reminder of his divine sovereignty and the mystery of his ways. He spoke of the vastness of the universe, the complexities of creation, and the intricacies of life. He reminded Job of his human limitations and the futility of attempting to grasp the divine's grand design. God's response was a humbling reminder to Job and to us all that we are not the architects of our universe, but rather humble participants in a grand cosmic play, the full scope of which we may never truly comprehend. Job's story doesn't end with his questioning, but with his reaffirmation of faith. Despite his suffering, Job continued to believe in God's wisdom and justice. He recognized that there are some questions that may never be answered in this life, but that does not diminish the importance of faith. In the end, it is faith that gives us the strength to endure, and it is through faith that we might find solace in the face of life's greatest trials. Job's faith, though tested, never wavered. In the aftermath of his trials, God not only restored Job's fortunes, but also blessed him more abundantly than before. His wealth was doubled, and he was blessed with 7 sons and 3 daughters, the most beautiful in the land. Job's story is a lesson in faith, a testament to the power of unwavering belief in God, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. It's a reminder of the mystery of God's ways, that his plans are far beyond our comprehension. Job's story teaches us that while we may not always understand the trials we face, we can trust in God's wisdom and his justice. Job's story is a beacon of hope, a promise that God's justice will prevail. In the face of adversity, Job's story teaches us about enduring faith, divine mystery, and ultimate justice.